Nadine Dorries seems to be conducting a sort of media blitz at the moment, trying to become relevant, trying to be at the centre of the debate. She has chosen exactly the wrong weekend to do it, where the centre of the debate this weekend is either Prince Harry or President Putin. It certainly isn't Nadine Dorries. However, given the fact that she's going on and on and on, like some sort of whining tap that simply cannot be turned off, I think she needs attention. So I'm going to give it to her. She says, she criticises Rishi Sunak and the Conservative government. She said 3 years of a progressive Tory government being washed down the drain. Her image, which I picked up. Levelling up, dumped. Social care reform, dumped. Keeping young and vulnerable people safe online, watered down. A bonfire of EU ledge, not happening. Sale of Channel 4, giving back £2 billion reversed, replaced with what? Well, it's a pile of rhetorical questions she doesn't answer. But then she never was one for solutions. She was always one for stirring up trouble. She doesn't like the idea that the privatisation of Channel 4 hasn't been pursued. Well, the whole point about this is she talks about the manifesto pledges. The privatisation of Channel 4 was never in the manifesto. She criticises Rishi Sunak's studying some form of mathematics. She says that at some point in the future to teach maths for longer with teachers we don't yet even have to do so. Appalling grammar. Where is the mandate? Who voted for this? Well, I must say, if I wanted to encourage some sort of proposals at the moment, my proposals would be to encourage literacy, to encourage the teaching of English beyond GCSE. But that's already there. That's already implicit in most academic subjects that are studied up to A-level and beyond. Most students, whatever subject they're doing, are expected to do some writing. And that's the whole point about essay writing technique. That's something that should be taught early on. It isn't. It's something students, for the most part, are expected to acquire. It's very difficult to acquire that skill if teachers don't know how to teach it. I did a YouTube video years ago about how to write a good essay. And I still think it has some sort of structural form which can be applied to most subjects and to most instances, whether the essay is short or long. But most of that skill is about analysis, and it's the same skill that students learn if they're doing mathematics. Liz Truss as well as Nadine Dorries seems unable to stay quiet. She says that there is no point governing with the brakes on. What on earth is she talking about? What on earth is she talking about? She was the person who has applied the brakes effectively by trying to do things which were impossible and too fast. She is the person who has caused most of our problems. So she needs to stand up and admit her failure and her role in the disaster that Rishi Sunak is trying to manage. That indeed Keir Starmer will end up having to manage for years. Much of the disaster in modern Britain is down to Liz Truss. If anybody needs ridicule, it is Liz Truss. And if anybody needs silencing and recommending that she really should not be making pronouncements any further, it is Liz Truss. I encourage debate. Liz Truss doesn't do debate, she does pronouncements, like Nadine Dorries. Nadine Dorries does rhetorical questions that aren't very well structured. Liz Truss does pronouncements. What we need is debate. Proper, healthy debate where there is respect for either side. So if these people cannot do that, they need to get out of politics. They need to get out of public life and they need to go back to silence.